COVID-19 or coronavirus has significantly disrupted day-to-day life for everyone. The UK government has been forced to place restrictions on our daily movements, and these are likely to remain in place for some considerable time. The Construction Leadership Council has developed site operating procedures to introduce consistent measures on sites in line with the government's recommendations on social distancing. This means we have introduced changes in the way we work to protect workers and minimise the risk of spread of infection. These guidelines cover 5 key areas: travel to and from site, welfare, working on site, logistics, and meetings and briefings. Let's look at each of those in a little more detail. Wherever possible, you should travel to and from site alone, using your own transport, such as personal cars or bikes, and avoiding public transport. The government has stated that you must stay at home and isolate if you are a vulnerable person, 70 years or older, have an underlying health condition, a clinical condition, or are pregnant, living with someone in self-isolation, or living with a vulnerable person, have a high temperature or a new persistent cough. Screening will be carried out at site entrances and briefings to identify symptoms to prevent risk to others on site, so don't go to site if you have symptoms. If you fall ill on site, return home immediately and notify a manager. Avoid touching anything and cough or sneeze into a tissue and put it in a bin, or sneeze or cough into the crook of your elbow. There are hand cleaning facilities at the entrance and exits to all sites. Make sure you use them upon entering or leaving. Ensure you wash your hands before and after using welfare facilities. Enhanced cleaning regimes are in place. Make sure you treat the welfare facilities with respect. Shift and break times will be staggered to reduce congestion. Make sure you know your allocated time for changing and using the canteens. Bring pre-prepared meals and refillable drinking bottles from home as a priority. Sit 2 meters apart from each other whilst eating and avoid all contact. All rubbish should be put in the bin and not left for someone else to clear up. Our priority is to ensure works are carried out with at least 2 meters space between workers. Plan work to minimise contact between workers and avoid skin-to-skin and face-to-face contact. Where face-to-face contact is essential, this should be kept to 15 minutes or less wherever possible. Reusable personal protective equipment should be thoroughly cleaned after use and not shared between workers. Single-use PPE should be disposed of so that it cannot be reused. If you're sharing plants with cabs, such as excavators, ensure they are cleaned before being used by someone else. Whilst moving around site, allow plenty of space, at least 2 meters, between people at entrances and exits and along walkways. Consider passing points to let people pass. Avoid stopping and chatting to others on walkways. Stairs should be used in preference to lifts or hoists. Delivery drivers will be expected to remain in their vehicles if the load will allow it, and must wash or clean their hands before unloading goods and materials. Meetings should only now be held and attended if they are absolutely necessary. During meetings, attendees should remain 2 meters apart from each other. Consider holding meetings in open areas where possible, and if they must be held in a room, keep it well ventilated and/or windows open to allow fresh air to circulate. If in doubt, do not take risks, and remember, do not work if you have any symptoms. Your health and safety and that of your colleagues is our #1 priority, and should be yours too.